Hello Group 1, welcome to your reading. First, let's take a look at what kind of limiting belief or mental block has been holding you back. You got a 6 of Wands. We also have the 10 of Coins at the bottom of the deck. Okay, the moment these two cards appeared, I could feel the pressure. But the pressure isn't the obvious, heavy kind of pressure you get with something like the 10 of Wands. This pressure hides behind how good things look on the surface, which means it's easy to overlook and even surprise. These two cards point to a classic theme, linking your self-worth to external validation. And I get it, we all understand this logically, but changing it is another story. The 6 of Wands tells me that your circumstances in the material world looks great. I'm saying your circumstances, not necessarily your inner state. Together with the 10 of Pentacles, you give me the feeling of someone highly capable, someone who manages resources extremely well. So I'm not surprised that your material situation looks solid. But your state, especially your mental state, may not be as steady as it appears. This card made me feel that, regardless whether you're a public figure or not, you live under pressure similar to being under a spotlight, as if people are constantly watching you every move. You feel the need to present yourself as doing great, to keep hitting goal after goal, even if you didn't consciously choose these goals yourself. And by consciously, I mean truly understand why you want something, not chasing it because hitting that target makes you feel worthy, good enough, or successful. The 6 of Wands shows me that you believe your charm needs a stage, audience, or applause, as if only in those moments do you feel talented, magnetic, or valuable. Your limiting belief is that your worth comes from visible achievements that everyone can see, rather than from your being itself. Through the 10 of Pentacles, I can clearly feel the root of this pattern, family environment and a generational conditioning. Maybe you were told things like, only if you do this, you can have that. Or you were rewarded every time you reach the standard set by others. This cultural conditioning has been with you for a long time. So even if you are aware of this pattern, it's not easy to change overnight. Next, let's see what activated and reinforced this mental pattern. We have the Lovers card, and we have the 10 of Swords at the bottom of the deck. The energy is intense here. The 6 of Wands corresponds to the number 6, and here we have the Lovers. This tells me that throughout your life, when faced with decisions, you often chose the option that pleased others or met their expectations, regardless of what you truly wanted. Sometimes you didn't even think independently. You just followed a path that felt safe. The Lovers also tells me that in the past, you made a major life decision, a true turning point, and you chose wrong. Unlike your previous choices, where a wrong decision still gave you some kind of reward or validation, but this time it hit you straight in the heart. Even if you appeared successful or received recognition on the outside, internally you felt nothing but emptiness, even a sense of losing everything. For some of you, that choice literally brought the opposite of what you hoped for. No reward, maybe even like a punishment. For some people, this shows up in relationship. Maybe you change yourself to please someone, only to be told, you are not yourself anymore, or you simply chose the wrong person. The 10 of Swords marks the end of that painful chapter. You might already feel healed, but I sense the old energy is still lingering, like tiny leaks draining you slowly. So when you face another big life decision, that old pain can resurface, reminding you that maybe you haven't fully closed that chapter or you need to revisit. Now, let's look at how you can break free from this mental prison. You draw the Knight of Swords, and we have the 4 of Swords at the bottom of the deck. I love the energy of this 4 of Swords. It feels so soothing. The message here is pretty direct. Become aware of these limiting beliefs and intentionally interrupt thought patterns. The Knight of Swords shows mental overactivity, the mind running nonstop, repeating the same worries, spiraling from one thought into another. You get trapped inside your head, and because you interact with those thoughts so intensely, you start to feel like reality, like replaying something someone said, then overanalyzing it until you convince yourself your fear is the truth. The 4 of Swords tells you, once you notice you're stuck in your thoughts, stop. No need to conclude, explain, or analyze, just stop. Change your physical environment, shift your body, do something different. It's like hitting a freeze frame. For example, take a shower, change a white t-shirt made of natural material, then lay down on your bed to empty your mind. Let yourself relax in a peaceful manner. What's interesting is that when you try to go back to those thoughts later, you might realize you can't even recreate the same intensity because those thoughts were never grounded in reality to begin with. They were fears, not facts. I know anxiety comes and goes and that's normal, but you need to move with speed, like a hunter. When anxiety appears, catch it. Remember, you are the hunter, not the prey. The more you practice this, the easier it gets. It becomes emotional discipline, a mental skill. Finally, let's see who you become once your mind is truly free. We got 5 of Swords, and we have the Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Okay, the 5 of Swords hits hard because it represents a real feeling behind your 6 of Wands persona. The part of you that sacrifices your inner peace just to win is the ego built by external opinions. Through this card, I can feel how deeply rooted your limiting beliefs were, but also how tired you will become of them. I see you walking away from an environment you thought you'd stay in forever, or change a habit you thought you'd never change. But now, if staying means losing your free will, you are no longer willing to pay the price. The Ace of Cups is a beautiful new beginning, a cup offered by the universe, and I'm genuinely happy to see this energy. It tells me that your liberation doesn't come from drama, confrontation, or burning everything down. You simply return to being a gentle, warm, generous version of yourself. That's what true spiritual freedom looks like. You really are free. And for your oracle card, we have Spy. Someone got their eye on you. You are doing your research. This is interesting because it suggests you need to start doing research on yourself. When those limiting beliefs arise, observe and record your inner state. Create a real file of how you feel, without judgment and analysis. Then once a week, review it. See the patterns, see what's real and what's imagined. You may even discover that you never needed to please others, because at the core, you and the other person might already be aligned. Wishing all my Group 1 friends clarity, healing, and freedom. I'll see you in the next reading. Hello Group 2, welcome to your reading. First, let's take a look at what limiting belief or mental block is holding you back. The card we have here is 7 of Swords. We also have the Chariot at the bottom of the deck. 2 sevens right out of the gate. The Chariot tells me you have big dreams, bold visions, and a naturally ambitious spirit. There are moments when you feel that soul-level pull, that calling pushing you to go further, dream bigger, reach wider. The Chariot is pure forward momentum, and through this card, I can feel how your own grand vision excites you, inspires you, but also overwhelms you. This constant push to charge ahead can create pressure, even hesitation. And when that tension rises, you either slow down drastically or stop altogether. Now the 7 of Swords brings in the energy of self-doubt, even self-sabotage. When a brilliant idea comes to you, something with real potential, something that would require long-term commitment and a discipline, your fear and anxiety jump out to pull the brakes. You might start overthinking, analyzing every detail to death, convincing yourself you are not ready, your plan isn't perfect, you don't have the skill yet. Maybe you misjudge the whole thing entirely. It becomes an escape route, a way to avoid taking responsibility for your own dreams. Even when you do take action, you might do it quietly, too cautiously, not because you are being strategic, but because you are scared to let people see how big your dream actually is. The fear whispers, what if you fail? So sometimes you hide your potential. Sometimes you turn down opportunities you are fully capable of. And sometimes you tell yourself you don't even want the things you actually want. The Chariot shows me something important. You can become someone extraordinary. You genuinely have the makings of someone great. I'm not flattering you. That's what the reading shows. But the real question is, will you let yourself? Next, let's look at what activates or worsens this pattern. You have the Knight of Wands, with 7 of the Cups at the bottom of the deck. Another number 7 card. You might be seeing angel number 7 a lot lately. The Knight of Wands is fiery, bold, and quick to respond to inspiration. And with the 7 of Cups here, you are someone who's never short of opportunities. Options show up constantly in your life, and you feel drawn to many of them, but never fully aligned with just one. It leaves you wondering, why am I laser focused sometimes and totally confused at other times? Here's what I see. Your Nada One's energy keeps you in a constant state of seeking. Every new opportunity lights you up. You are quick to explore, quick to imagine the future, quick to chase. And yes, on the outside, you look like you are very decisive and action-oriented. But Seven of Cups reveals the inner truth. You get overwhelmed by all the options. You get lost in the possibilities. And slowly the confusion builds until you stop moving. You shut everything down. And you start doubting yourself again. This creates a predictable cycle. You feel inspired by multiple opportunities. You chase all of them. You get overwhelmed. You stop. You doubt yourself. You reject your own decisions. And the limiting beliefs grow stronger every time. Your problem isn't clarity. You can see your true goals. Your problem is the belief that choosing one path means giving up all the others, and stepping into the version of yourself who must take long-term responsibility and grow into real power. Now let's look at how you can break free. We have Knight of Coins here, with the Four of Swords at the bottom of the deck. The Four of Swords shows up in the same position for the first group too. So, proper rest and quality sleep really are magic. The Knight of Pentacles arriving here is perfect and perfectly timed. This card is low focus, steady progress, long-term commitment, ambition expressed through discipline rather than adrenaline. Breaking free is actually incredibly simple for you, not necessarily quick but simple, not fast but doable. The Knight of Pentacles is your reminder. One tree a day becomes a forest. This is the opposite of the Knight of Wands' fiery rush. If your actions become slower but heavier, more grounded, more intentional, that's how you align with your true cosmic energy. And the Four of Swords brings calm, reflection, stillness. Whenever you feel yourself slipping back into the Knight of Wands' restlessness, pause, slow yourself down intentionally. You can use micro delays. I'll decide after I wake up. I'll think after work. Let me wash my face first. Anything that interrupts the impulsive momentum. Your success is built like a Lego set, piece by piece. You do not need to wait until you are fully ready to begin. That's the old belief talking. You grow with the dream. You don't wait to grow before the dream. This path is incredibly beautiful. You feel yourself evolve every day. You gather small victories, build real momentum, and eventually reach that huge moment where your dream becomes real, in a way that looks exactly like the vision you've always imagined. Finally, let's look at who you become once you achieve the mental freedom. You have the Ten of Swords in reverse. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Fool card. This is fantastic. And honestly, the Star card feels like wanted to appear too. Okay, the universe is giving a blessing here, in its own playful way. The Ten of Swords in reverse is very straightforward. You fully end this cycle. No lingering wounds. No old patterns coming back, no more relapses into the old mindset. This is a permanent turning point. And the Fool comes in the perfect timing. Everything aligns exactly when it's supposed to. The moment you break free, a massive opportunity comes straight to you. No delay, no gap, no waiting room. You hop right onto the magical train. The Fool also shows that this new path requires you to leave behind your old ways, old environments, old mindsets, even old ways of presenting yourself. Fresh energy, new people, new beginnings, and you feel protected the whole way. The artwork clearly shows that the guidance surrounding you. Even brief encounters on this new journey will be meaningful, little soul touches that brightens both sides. Your oracle card is patience. Just a few more months. Good things come to those who wait. This perfectly aligns with your shift from Nine of Wands to the Knight of Pentacles energy. Your symbolic image is small seedling, but what the universe wants to give you is entire forest. So stay steady, stay grounded, focus your energy, and receive the blessings that's already on its way. Blessings to everyone who chose Group 2. See you next time. Hello Group 3, welcome to your reading. First, let's start by looking at what limiting belief or mental block has been holding you back. You got the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, and the underlying card we have here is the Possibility, which corresponds to Temperance in traditional tarot. Your limiting belief isn't something dramatic or destructive. It's not causing tragedy, but it is stopping you from experiencing something better, deeper, more fulfilling. The Eight of Pentacles is all about refining skills and mastering your craft, but when it shows up reversed, a few things come through. The first scenario, your willpower wavers. You are afraid your effort won't match the reward, so you hesitate to commit fully. The second scenario, you underestimate yourself. You actually qualify for better opportunities, but you pull back because you doubt your abilities. The third scenario, you give up right before the breakthrough, not because you're lazy, but because you tell yourself, this is already good enough, even though you are right at the edge of excellence. People may have told you you are underusing your talent, or that you stay in your comfort zone too easily. Temperance here shows a strong inner equilibrium. You are extremely good at making peace with your reality, at comforting yourself, at saying, I'm fine. And that's the tricky part, because our topic is limiting beliefs and mental blocks. And in your case, breakthrough isn't about escaping suffering, because you're not suffering. You don't sit in crisis for long. You always find a way to balance yourself emotionally. But these beliefs do hold you back from greater, richer, higher quality experiences. Your mental block shows up in how you evaluate yourself. You think you can only reach a certain level, operate in a certain space, express yourself in a certain way. Your self-soothing doesn't go toward supporting growth. It goes toward rationalizing comfort. I'm okay. I don't need more. I don't need to push. And there's nothing wrong with that comfort. Truly, your life isn't lacking, but if you want a better life, one that feels fulfilling, not just stable, you need to face these beliefs honestly. Now let's look at what activates and reinforces this pattern. We have the Page of Pentacles in reverse, and the underlying card we have here is Eight of Swords. I feel there's tension here, almost like don't mess up, don't take risk, keep everything under control type of energy. This suggests your work or environment may involve high standards, responsibilities, or consequences, which explains why you settle for good enough, or why you stop right before achieving something bigger. You already feel tense, you will work hard to maintain this calm, and you don't want to add more stress or uncertainty. The Page of Pentacles is normally long-term, ambitious energy, but in reverse, it shows you shortening this timeline, lowering the goal from best to second best. You prioritize risk management over ambition. Maybe your real-world situation does involve certain risk, so you will train yourself to be extra cautious. Close enough is fine. Let's not push it. Your logic isn't wrong. If you don't want that much growth, you are not doing anything bad. But if you do want better, then growth will always involve risk. And for you, that risk is mental and emotional pressure. The Eight of Swords tells me your real challenge is resilience. How much internal tension you can handle. You naturally avoid conflict and stress. So when growth means facing inner conflict, you instinctively back away. And that's when your limiting belief activates. Like, it's okay, I don't need that, let me take the safer route. Next, let's see how can you break free from this pattern. We have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, and we have the Tower at the bottom of the deck. Wow, 3 reversals in this reading. Earlier we talked about a sense of tension in your life, not chaotic, but mentally held. This matches the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, the over-responsible, over-giving, over-nurturing energy. And with the Tower here, the message is striking. You need to let something collapse. You need to let something fall out of your hands. You need to stop holding everything together. Your current karma exists because you are maintaining it. If you loosen your grip, things will wobble. But that wobble is exactly what leads to freedom. If you are the only one keeping a system functioning, then the system is already unstable. A collapse isn't a failure, it's a necessary restructuring. You can absolutely choose to maintain the status quo if you want. There's no judgment here. But if you want freedom, expansion, a more fulfilling life, you need to stop picking up responsibilities that aren't yours. You need to let unstable fall apart so something real can be rebuilt. Let go of control, let others carry what's theirs, let a tower fall so that foundation can be renewed. And finally, let's see, who do you become after escaping this mental prison? We have the Trickster. This is the Devil card in the traditional tarot, and we also have the Two of Swords at the bottom of the deck. This is such an intriguing energy. The Two of Swords tells me your mind expands. You begin seeing multiple sides of a situation, even perspectives you once rejected. Your thinking becomes more flexible, more layered, more nuanced. The trickster here isn't negative. This is empowerment. You develop a cleverness, a psychological finesse, a witty ability to navigate interactions. You learn how to give responsibility back to people in a playful, strategic, even mischievous way. It may look like you are using tricks, but really, you're learning how to protect your energy without guilt. If you once had more conservative or rigid values, they open up, and in your relationships, communication, and negotiation, you unlock a whole new skill set. You no longer burn yourself out. You'll be able to pursue better experiences with far less emotional weight. For the oracle message we have here is the narcissist. Someone is too full of themselves. This card is direct. The moment it appears, you probably know exactly who this person is. Combined with the trickster, this could even be a little poetic. A bit of returning the energy. A bit of I won't be your caretaker anymore. And that's all for Group 3. Sending blessings your way, and I'll see you in the next reading.